Hello everyone, welcome back to our entrepreneurship class, and our next topic under Unit 1 is environment scanning. So as we have learned from the previous class that business opportunities exist from business environment. So it is essential and important to scan our environment. So what is environment scanning? Scanning of environment or environment scanning is carefully and closely monitoring your environment to detect the opportunities and threats which will cause and influence your future business enterprise or future business prospects. So business scanning here, it simply means closely monitoring your environment. Here environment is means both the environment, that is internal as well as external. Internal environment are those environment or those factors which can be controlled within the organization, and external environment are those environment which are outside the control of the organization or which are outside the organization. So let's look at the importance or benefit of environment. Why is environment important? The first, why is the scanning of business environment important? The first is getting first mover advantage. If an entrepreneur is keen and alert and aware of the certain factors that will affect your business, and if an entrepreneur can scan the business at a very early stage, that means he can detect opportunity at the earliest. He gets the benefit to detect the opportunities from the environment which was not there and before his or her competitors. So as an entrepreneur, if he scans the environment, he gets the early first mover advantage. If he or she detects the environment at an early stage, that means he will get the maximum benefit of it and can outwit its competitors, which means he gets the first mover advantage to take the opportunities. The next is identifying threats and early warning signal. As an entrepreneur, if he or she can understand and scan the environment well, he or she can overcome the constraints and negative policies that will affect or have influence in your business. An entrepreneur can easily detect the threats and early warning that is coming to you. For example, this Maruti Udyog company or Maruti Udyog Corporation, by scanning the environment, they got the qualitative information that a foreign car manufacturing business is entering India and they are going to set up a business in India. So what this Maruti Udyog company did was increase their production. As soon as they got the information by scanning the environment that foreign car manufacturing company is entering, they started to increase their production by 3-fold, that is 3 times more than the previous production. So they started increasing the production, especially the production of steam cars. So they have produced these steam cars from 65 cars per day to 80 cars per day, and their sales production also increased from 25,400 to 42,000 a year or annually. So this Maruti Udyog company took the early warning signal that foreign car manufacturing company is entering India. So before that, they prepared themselves. They took the warning at a very early stage, and even before the entering, they started their production. Okay, so if we scan the environment, we can detect the threats and take warning signals seriously and can work on strategies to implement in our business. Next is helping in tapping and assembling resources. As we all know that resources are limited in the environment, especially in the socialist economies economy like us, resources are very limited. So if we scan the environment at a very early stage, then we get resources. For example, the demand for the flat TV have increased rather than the demand for the black and white TV. So what an entrepreneur needs to do is scan the environment, understand the needs of the people, and then tap the resources, get the resources of that colored TV production rather than getting resources for producing the black and white TV. So if we scan the environment, we get the resources, we can tap the resources at the earliest stage. The next benefit is helps to adapt and adjust rapid changes. Environment is dynamic and it keeps on changing every day. So and it has a very great influence on business enterprises. Okay, environment changes every time and it affects the business enterprise directly. So if we scan the environment, we get used to the rapid changes that is happening, and accordingly we can take the timely actions. Next is assisting in planning and policy making. With the change in environment, a business organization needs to plan and make policies according to the change that is happening in the market, or according to the change that is happening in the business. So only by scanning the environment, an entrepreneur makes policy and planning for his future business prospects. The next is improvement in performance. So if we scan the environment and if we get the idea that there is any threats and opportunities, and if we get warning signals, it will obviously help us in improving our performance in our business. So these are the benefits of environment scanning. Next, let's go to this small topic under your unit, that is SWOT analysis. This is a very small topic, but it is very helpful for an entrepreneur, or helpful for a person individually and personally as well. This is by SWOT analysis, it is the abbreviation of strength, weaknesses, opportunities and threats. Strengths and weaknesses are always internal to business, which means it is within the control of the business, and opportunities and threats are outside the control of the business. So we as an entrepreneur in the organization, we always do SWOT analysis. Okay, so this SWOT analysis you will be learning as you go ahead into higher classes more about SWOT analysis. So as an individual also, SWOT analysis is very important. You have to do SWOT analysis. You have to know your strengths and weaknesses, and also look for opportunities and threats in your life. So we'll move ahead to the next topic, that is environmental factors. So what are these environmental factors? Environmental factors are those forces and factors that influence your business. Okay, that influence your business. These environmental factors are divided into two broad categories, that is micro and macro. Micro is also known as internal and macro is also known as external. So this micro, by the name itself, it is micro means small. So micro factors that affect your environment are suppliers, customers, intermediaries, competitors and general public. So here in this in your unit, we will focus more on the macro environmental factors rather than the micro environmental factors. And in simple terms, suppliers are those suppliers of your raw materials, suppliers of your technologies and those things. Customers are, you all know, consumers of your product. Intermediaries are those institutions, banks and financial assistance, sources of financial assistance. Competitors are your rival companies, your competitors, and general public here means society. So this was a quick review on this micro environmental factors, and let's move to the macro environmental factors. Here I will give you an idea how to remember the macro environmental factors. It is very easy, just remember the word pastel. Okay, remember the word pastel for exam, that is political, economic, social and cultural, technological, ecological and legal and financial factors. So it is the easiest way to remember your macro environmental factors. So let's see it one by one. So political factors. The first factor is the political factor. So political factor constitutes of all the factors that is related to the interference of the government, all the government affairs, the policies implemented by the government, and the attitude of the government towards the different sections of the society, and the implementation of policies. It affects your business directly, and it has a great impact on your business. For instance, in the year 1977, when this Janata Party came into power, they tried to they made a rule that to send back all the foreign countries. So with that coming of the part of Janata Party in 1977, Coca-Cola, as you know, Coca-Cola is a US brand, so they also had to close down their business and go back. So political environment or political factors have a great influence on your business, and it directly affects your business. Next is economic factors. Economic factors here constitutes of all those economic growth, GDP, gross domestic product, gross national product, fiscal policy, monetary policy, national income. All those economic growth and policies comes under economic factors. And economic factors, as a business, it has a great influence on your business. When the new economic policy was implemented in the year 1991, they made certain policies, and certain banking reforms were done. With the coming of this new economic policy, banking introduced new schemes of lending and borrowing with nominal rate of interest, and that had a great impact on the business. And even this with the implementation of the fiscal policy and current economic policies, there were Indians invited the foreign investor to invest more in the Indian companies, and also requested the NRIs and the other foreign investors to invest in India. So economic factors have direct impact on your business because it relates to all the trade policies in a country. Next is socio-cultural factors. Socio-cultural factor constitutes of factors such as society, cultural, traditions, standard of living, education, and people in the society. Socio-cultural factors have a great influence for your future prospect, and it affects the business directly. For example, this Pepsi Cola company, when they used the slogan, this "Come Alive" in advertisement. When they used the slogan "Come Alive" in one of the advertisement, there were certain people of a certain region, they misinterpreted this "Come Alive" slogan as coming alive from the graves. Okay, and they condemned the use of this Pepsi Cola product. So they, since they misinterpreted this slogan in their advertisement, they condemned the use, so the market was closed down. They could not sell the product anymore. So they have to change their slogan from "Come Alive." And because a business cannot exist without a society, and it takes place in the society. The growth and development of a business is always in the society. So we cannot go against the intuitions of the people and against the traditions of the people or against the needs of the society. If you want to build a showroom with a branded products, that is, if you want to come up with fancy clothes, you cannot sell and come up with a showroom in a very rural area where even electricity is not available. You should build your enterprise in a metropolitan cities or in an urban area. So it is very important that we consider these socio-cultural factors, because we live in a society and enterprise is set up in a society, and the survival of an entrepreneur and the enterprise depends on the socio-cultural factors. The next is technological factors. Technological factors means use of new technologies and new methods of production and new equipments. So technological change also, as an entrepreneur, we have to upgrade ourselves with certain technological changes, that is happening, and we also should consider these technological changes. Some of the technological changes that has occurred in India is the prospect of this digital watches have killed the traditional watches. Also, with the coming of the flat color TV, it has killed the prospect of black and white TV. Right, so from typewriter to word processors. So technology, with the change in environment, technology also upgrades and improves every day. So as an entrepreneur, we should always upgrade ourselves and use technologies that is suitable to us to compete with our competitors and to survive in the society. The next one is ecology. Ecology, you all know, it means natural calamities, or it refers to nature, which means weather, climate change, and those things refers to ecology. Here ecological factors mainly affects this farming, agriculture, and tourism industries. And these three industries, or the industries which are related, almost all the industries are related to ecology, because we get natural resources from the environment. So this is also a very crucial factor, or a very important factor an entrepreneur must consider. The next is legal and finance. Legal is related to the regulations passed in the parliament. So as entrepreneurs, an enterprise works under the framework of works under legal framework. So we should consider this factor, because as an entrepreneur will live under the framework of legal. Legal here refers to all the regulations that is passed in the environment, such as discrimination law, criminal law, antitrust law, all these things. And even this Consumer Protection Act, Commodities Act, and Weight and Measurements Act, all these are passed in this legal factors, and all this comes under legal factors. An example, or a fact that legal factors affect your business is that in India, it is alcohol products to be advertised are prohibited. And the second example that I want to say is that in all the tobacco products, it is compulsory and it is statutory and mandatory to give warnings. So that is a legal factor, or that is a constraint to the business, as well as it affects the business. So people should consider, entrepreneurs should consider these factors. The last factor under environmental factors is finance. As commerce student, you know that without finance we cannot do anything. All the activities depends on finance, and finance is the backbone of the enterprise, and it is the lifeblood. So here financial factors refers to the sources of finance and financial assistance to run your business, because all the activities in the enterprise depends on finance, and finance is required for your growth and expansion, as well as survival of your enterprise. So these are the macro environmental factors, and keep in mind that in this unit we give more focus on this macro environment, since it is external and it is beyond the control of the organization. These micro environment are internal and it is controllable within the organization, so we give less focus here and more focus on the macro environment factors. Thank you.